So here's 10 mistakes you don't want to make when going to the new Pokemon theme park in Tokyo, PokePark Kanto. So the first mistake people make is having too high expectations. Now if you're expecting something like USJ or Disneyland, then it's nothing like that. PokePark is just a small section of another theme park, Yomiuri Land. But in the actual PokePark, there's only 2 rides and they're catered towards kids. So one of the rides is a Pokemon skin carousel, which is still pretty cool because you get to ride Rapidash and all these evolutions. Another one, Pika Pika Paradise, is that aerial up and down ride that goes around. And you do get a nice view of the park, especially at night and sunset time. So the main attraction is Pokemon Forest, a nice little walk through and stroll through the park with Pokemon statues scattered around.
This actually looks like the first route when you go out of Professor Oak's lab and you see like Pidgey and Ratatata.
Really nostalgic, but at the crux of it, it's still pretty static and pretty much just nice for taking photos, except they do make some crazy noises. But if you know all this and come into it with like normal expectations, then I think you're gonna have a good time. The Pokemon Center experience is the best part of the whole thing. You actually feel immersed into the world. And that brings me to mistake number 2. Don't go into the Pokemon Center without bringing your own Pokemon. Let me tell you a little story. So when I was young, I had a budgie that was named Articuno. Since then, I've been looking for an Articuno plushie to kind of remember her. Now I looked through at least 5 Pokemon centers all around Japan, but I couldn't find one. But it wasn't until I went to the gift shop in PokePark that I actually found Articuno, and I was so happy. Like, oh my god, like the search is over. Now I went into this Pokemon Center with zero idea of what was gonna happen. So it turns out if you're lucky enough to be the person at the front of the line, they give you this tray of Pokeballs, which you can give to Nurse Joy to heal. And you actually see the Pokemon sprites pop up on the screen. But what I didn't expect is for Nurse Joy to actually interact with everyone else as well. But the thing is, it's all in Japanese, so I had no idea what she was saying. I just saw everyone suddenly put their hands up. So I was like, okay, can't miss out on whatever this is. But then I saw everyone else pulling their Pokemon plushies out, so I rushed to find mine in my bag and then gave her my Articuno.
And it really felt like I was handing over my fainted budgie.
And Nurse Joy handled her with such care. And hearing the just healed my inner child. So if you have a Pokemon plushie that means something to you, or you just have a favorite Pokemon, make sure you bring it to the Pokemon Center. But you know what the crazy part is? I almost was not allowed to buy this Articuno. Make sure you actually arrive for all your reservations 15 minutes before the starting time. We got the 2:15 to 2:30 p.m. slot, and we just assumed that you can rock up any time between this time. So we went up at 2:25, and they were like, sorry, we can't let you in. We're already queuing for the next batch. And we were so devo, but we begged them so hard, and thankfully they actually let us in. You might not be as lucky, so just don't risk it at all. But honestly, I think it's okay if you miss out on the shop. So you're just gonna miss out on the exclusive PokePark merch, which I, to be honest, found kind of underwhelming. But for the headbands and all the other stuff you find in the shops in Sedge Towns. Now, speaking of reservations, you don't want to make mistake number 4, and that's not downloading the app beforehand and familiarizing yourself with it before the day. Because you want to be quick with the reservations, there's 3 things that are gated behind reservations. The first one is the Daisuke gift shop. Now this one has plenty of slots, so you don't need to worry about this. The second is the Pika Pika Sparks show. Now this one is actually a lottery system, but it doesn't seem that hard to get. My friend applied and basically got a confirmation instantly. Now I'm surprised that this show was actually one of my highlights of the whole experience. I'd actually be sad if I missed out on this. But if you have the Ace Trainers Pass, then you don't need to worry about this because you would already have a reservation slot. So the only one you really need to rush for is Pokemon Playhouse. It's a little photo time with a random Pokemon of the day. Unfortunately, I came in 3 hours after openings. By the time I entered, the slots were already gone. So you want to get there at opening, and as soon as you enter the park, get on the app and reserve the Pokemon Playhouse. Now mistake number 5.
Banh mi and some demi-glaze sauce from Altaria Roost.
That's so random. As a Viet, this is disgrace.
Let's try. Wow, a meatball. Not bad.
800 yen for this mentaiko onigiri. Actually pretty good.
Now I think one of my biggest mistakes is not getting these pins. It's random based on all the Kanto region Pokemon. I kept waiting for the line to die down, but it never died down. And by the time I got around to it, they closed the line. And you also see staff walking around with these pins. If you see something you like, you can actually trade with them. That's just like the trading mechanic in the game. Now speaking of missing out, right next to that store, you'll find one that gives you these Pokemon card frames. I had no idea what it was all about. I didn't realize it was free, but it's sort of like a mini game. So around the park, you find these Pokemon statues, and you have have to find the Pokemon that matches with your frame. So if you take a picture of it, you go back and show the staff and they'll give you a sticker set based on the Pokemon. So make sure you get this before you go into Pokemon Forest. Next mistake, we went to the Pokemon Mark too late at around 3 p.m. and by that time, all the starter Pokemon drinks were already sold out. But that's okay because we still got these Pokeball and Potion cookies. Also, if you buy 10 of these Pokeball cookies, you also get a Premier Ball one. Now, mistake number 9, I rushed Pokemon Forest too much. I didn't even realize there were shiny Pokemon that you can find, so keep your eye out for them. You should know that you can't move backwards, so just take your time. Well, you sort of can if you get the Ace Trainer's Pass because you get unlimited entries to Pokemon Forest, but getting the pass was actually mistake number 10 for me. So before I bought my tickets, I didn't even understand what the difference between the Ace Trainer's Pass and the normal pass is, but I just had to rush to buy it because I didn't want to miss out on anything. But I don't think the Ace Trainer's Pass is worth almost double the regular pass because the best experiences are Pokemon Forest and the Pokemon Center, which are already included in the base pass. Everything else is just a nice bonus. I'm going to break this down in my next video so you can decide which one is worth it for you. So please subscribe if you're interested in that and leave any comments if you have any questions about the park.